What's good, fam? We is back in this thing, baby. Ooh, I see already. The Quicks is present. Hey, the Quicks. That's the fam right there. I didn't even know if y'all was gonna make it. I thought Miss Quick had moved into a new house. I thought she had left Mr. Quick and moved in. She didn't go nowhere, fam. She didn't go nowhere. If y'all that don't know what I'm talking about, Miss Quick thought she was finna move somewhere, but in all actuality, the app just froze on her. It was gear gapping out there, and she was taking a little bit. Mr. Quick thought he was finna have to go get y'all. I'm not finna tell the whole story. Y'all gotta go over there to the YouTube and watch it, man. They be having me rolling over here, man. If y'all don't know, just go watch the Quicks. But yeah, fam, what's going on with y'all, man? We back at the crib. You know we had to run down to San Antonio yesterday, but we went Friday. My fam was retiring. He retiring. Well, he did retire. Man, what a time we had. What they say, it was a time last night. Man, I ain't know if these old knees was gonna hold up. I know one of the fam asked me how them knees hold up on them long rides. The new knees they good. They good on the ride, but man, I had to test them out last night. What they call it? Do you got the Meg knees? Woo wee. It was some dancing and partying going on, and we went down there Friday, made a whole weekend of it. Me and the wife, had a great time. Some of y'all saw that. Took her somewhere she hadn't been before, but hey, great times. We back in this thing, fam. What that? Hey, I'm trying to help y'all get the bag. There's so many bags out here. I want everybody to eat. That's matter of fact, that's kind of the topic of what we're talking about today. Because I kept seeing something happen. First, before we get there, let's back up. Because fam is out here running. We got fam everywhere. We had fam out in Jacksonville. We had fam in Texas and running around. We had fam in Phoenix. One fam missed fun with Fendall. He ran out to California, got his first time. He getting them toes wet out there. I'm not even mad at it. I love seeing y'all out there getting them bags. Because, man, matter of fact, let's go with fun with Fendall. He said it was his first time heading out to Cali. He went on back to Cali, got him some of that Cali love. But we talk a lot about different things, but I never really tapped into it. Going out to Cali and all that way is great. One of the fam actually told him, be ready for them gas prices. If you ain't, it's not the same. If you Midwest and like over towards the east and all that, them gas prices, normally we talked about it before with CPM, normally be between that $2-3 range. It might tip above $3, just a little bit, but it's normally in between the $2.53. And if you're real lucky, you get that $2.30, $2.40. But if you go out to Cali, it's gonna be a 4 in front of that number, 5 sometimes. It start getting in the mid 3s, the high 3s when you start touching off in the Phoenix and all that. So I never went into detail about that, but be ready when you go that way. That gas is gonna shoot up. But yeah, I hope y'all out there getting it. And don't worry, Quicks, y'all already getting the bag. Matter of fact, we got to get y'all them bags because that maintenance, I saw that. Y'all got to let your boy know what's going on. I want to know what's going on with that thing out there. Y'all was dropping that van off, the money maker. But I seen y'all hop into the money. I don't know why we keep talking about it. If y'all want to know what the Quicks is over there doing, just go to their channel. Go to their channel, Mr. and Miss Quick, because they killing it. But yeah, I have been seeing some things lately popping up on social media. I had seen it a little bit before in our comments, a whole lot, especially when you start talking on them other platforms like IG and TikTok, and they were directed towards your boy. Hey, what's going on, Cal? Hey, them gas prices in New York, they not low either. New York, Cali, stink the same. When you start going West Coast and start going up northern East Coast, them gas prices start shooting up there. So keep that in mind. Because I tell y'all, research. I always know where you're going. But yeah. When I was talking about all the stuff that I was saying, because people were calling me, y'all won't believe this. You won't believe this. Over in IG and TikTok, there's a few, especially in them DMs. I've been called gatekeeper. I don't know how many times. I think we lost track. And I'm just sitting there laughing because, I don't take nothing negative. It is what it is. I can't control how somebody feels. But then it made me realize we never really covered that. Because a lot of, the fam that's been watching the day ones, if you knew, we love y'all too, but go back and understand that we've been talking about building a business and we've been going through the steps. And one of those steps was like marketing, putting yourself out there, start sharing your information with everybody and all that stuff, or the stuff that you're doing, like the pay, the journey that you're on, whatever you want to share. But I never really didn't think the dawn on me that there's going to be some individuals that's going to start asking you questions, and they might look at you as though you gatekeep. And then we've also had fam hit me up because they, you know what I'm saying, whether it be the one-on-ones, because believe it or not, the cargo van, the stuff we do one-on-one ain't just about cargo vans. We actually talk about other stuff. It's other fam that's starting businesses. And I was like, we got to start tapping into the things you might get, comments to be prepared for. Remember, I tell you, I don't take nothing personal. I hope you don't. I don't take it negative, but you can't control it. It's social media. When you put something out there, anybody can say, comment, do, can't help it. But it comes around with the gatekeeping. For example, one of the videos I saw, it was a young lady. She wasn't meaning no harm. She was talking about trust and wills and all that. And she was like, well, if you're going to tell me about trust, tell me all the steps and all this and that. And some of the people in the comments were like, hey, some of the research you got to do, some of it you got to figure out. And they were all coming back to those comments like, you would just tell us what to do, how to do it. And I'm like, everybody, we talk about it all the time. That's why I emphasize research. A lot of people don't want to look up stuff. There's just those type of people, nothing wrong. They just don't want to do it. But when they come towards you with that same energy, you got to keep in mind that you just not telling everything is not gatekeeping. Look at it from this point of view. Because we hear all the sayings. We hear the sayings of, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. Don't tell everybody your business because everybody's not for you. They can be praying for your downfall. You get all that stuff. So when you think about gatekeeping, because we over here, we try to tell every single thing that we know and teach it how it comes. We want you to win in this cargo van game, but we want you to win in life and business, period. So when you start talking about gatekeeping and people thinking you're holding back information, they don't realize that, hey, you might only be talking about what you know or that particular topic or anything. But I want to ask you something. If you see somebody walking down the street, you never met them, and you just walk up to them and say, hey, you look like you're about in your 30s, 40s, 50s. You look like you might know something that I don't know. So I'm going to pick your brain, and I want you to tell me everything about one particular topic and let it all out. That person will probably look at you crazy. Why? Because for one, they don't know you. And for two, I'm not telling you all my business. And three, if it is somebody that wants to share, who's to tell that you are, because for some reason we live in a world where people live in obligation. I call it obligation Delulu land. You think that you're obligated to all the hard work and knowledge that somebody has obtained over the years, whether it be schooling, trade, hands-on, just working a job. Nobody's entitled to anything from anybody. And I'm saying that I should have put a disclaimer. Day one fam, I'm not talking to y'all. This is for new fam that might come across and haven't went back and watched videos or haven't caught up. It's not that we're trying not to hide anything, but think of it this way. If we have thousands and thousands of people and you might be new and you ask a question, now lives and all that, you know your boy, you leave comments, I'm going to go back and answer as fast as I can get to them. But if it's not happening fast enough, we got a community over here that I love this community because the fam over here, they see when I'm out moving and they even reach in and answer questions before I can even get to it. They'll ask the person that asked the question certain questions to help them get to certain end goals and all that stuff. We have amazing people over here. That's why I love the fam that's over here that's being built because we help each other. But at the same time, that individual that's asking the question, remember, just because nobody's gotten back to you fast, don't mean nobody's holding on to the energy, to the information, fam. It just ain't got to you because we're out here moving. Because if you think one person, two person, three people, 5, 6, 10, if you had to stop every single time and talk to somebody, you wouldn't get nothing accomplished. And I'm telling y'all that because as you continue to grow, and like I said earlier, I was talking about the quicks in their videos. Y'all can ask them. I look at some of their comments because I be in that comment and laughing and stuff with them. But if they had to stop every single time and talk to every single body, because don't get me wrong, you catch me out in the streets, I'm going to talk to you. We already talked about the one fam that I just missed by this many hours because, timing wasn't right. But you catch those individuals, you catch me in the street, I'm going to talk to you. But at the same time, think of it big numbers. Like I said, we put in Sunday, it's for me and you, the fam, to come together and talk. But we do have those one-on-ones, and it's technically like 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. That's 8 people. 8 people per Sunday on top of the lives. If you got hundreds of people asking you something, it's not that nobody's gatekeeping. And I want to give y'all that tip and that nugget as we get going tonight, because I don't want you to feel the pressure of thinking you have to stop what you're doing and talk to every single body. Because, hey, let's be honest, you wouldn't get nothing done. And those people that are out there that are calling gatekeepers and doing most of the time, that ain't even the audience you trying to talk to anyway, because they might not even want to do the research. I've literally, me personally, throughout my life and career, mentoring and helping people, I literally have met people that want you to hand walk them step by step by step, to the point where I might as well do it myself. It could be your business, and I'm helping you with your business, whether it be marketing, branding, anything. But you can walk them step by step by step. And then at the end of the day, it's like, man, I built this business. I might as well run this business myself because I built it for you. So no, don't get frustrated, fam, when y'all hear people and see people, especially in the comments over here, because I seen a couple times, we talking about the clause came out. I seen y'all go after a couple people, and I did not want to be that person. But y'all didn't do it negatively, so I wasn't even tripping. Hey, some people got to be, a little talk to a little stern, a little strong, because some people just don't get it the first couple of times. Man, I see y'all filing in this thing, ain't it? What's going on, fam? I'm talking to Blue Marvel because y'all can see the comments, but they pop up for me. Let's see. Jason out in Luz, got Atlanta. Out here. Man, that Eagle Pass Texas bag is nice. I got that one. But hey, fam, that Atlanta bag is good too. So I know you out there. I'm in Las Vegas, bro. How much do you pay for insurance? So the insurance, we got the meal. Started with the 300 just to get active. But the meal, that one is running around like 8 something. This, because remember, if you don't know this, fam, I round everything up. So I got it all going to account. I don't even see it. It just comes out, and I look at it again when it's time to renew. I make sure it comes out. But it's 8 something. I appreciate it. Yep. Hey, y'all know I'm gonna tell how it is all the times. There where I can see the live chat once he gets off. So yeah. So normally with the live chat, what it does after when you go live on YouTube, don't correct the time. It could be off. It takes like 24 hours or something for it to regenerate and all that to pop up. At least that's what I see on my end. I don't know about your end, but since you asked, I will write it down, because you know me. When you tell me something, I'm going to go down the rabbit hole because I want to know the correct answer. So I'm going to look that up just so we can understand. I see. That's some LLC boys. I like that name. How long does it take? All right. We're gonna look that up, and I'm going to let you know. So yeah, fam, that's exactly what's going on. We're going to keep it 100. So back to what I was saying, because I don't want to leave nothing out, especially with this gatekeeping thing. Other part of that, because we live in a world right now. The best, I can't even think of a way to say it that don't even sound. It's not negative in my head, but it comes out that way sometimes. We live in a world of audacity. A lot of people have audacity. Because I told you, when you sell me something, I go down a rabbit hole. So I went down a rabbit hole of gatekeeping. I've seen people that were in the farming industry, people that were teaching, because TikTok University is similar to YouTube University. You can go down a rabbit hole and learn about anything. And so I've seen people that were literally teaching people how to do gardening and farming and growing vegetables. And it got to the point I thought that person was going to have to leave and drive to somebody's house and start sampling their soil and planting it, because it was like you keep asking, but everybody's journey is going to be different. So even if somebody tells you every single thing, it's still going to be something that's different for you. But the thing with that is, if they tell you every single step and it doesn't work exactly how they tell you it's working for them, it's going to go from gatekeeping to your lying to your scamming. Don't get me wrong. There are a bunch of scammers out there. That's why I understand what they're saying with the gatekeeping, because people don't want to always have to pay, and it be information that you can find out about on YouTube. That's why we are over here with the fam over here. We taking this journey live in real time so you can see it. So for those fam, because I believe it or not, I learned this too. We talked about it before. There's some people that just want you to make the course. They don't even want to go back and watch video. There are some people that want you to write books and ebooks. And there are those individuals, that's how they're learning. That's their learning style. So they want those things, not necessarily talking to them, because those people want those things. But for the rest of us that don't want to just have to spend money on learning every single thing, it's out there. Now, again, it's on you to do the research and go back and look for stuff. It ain't just necessarily our channel. It could be any channel. And I want y'all to get in the habit of doing that. That's why I harp on it so much. In the military, we call it the foot stump. Don't know what y'all might call it, but like when leadership or somebody is trying to tell you something and they trying to get that point across, that foot stumps a couple of times, like real hard into the ground. So you know that this is a point I need you to take. So when we talk about research, because I harp on it so much, and research, market analysis, market, I harp on those things because as we continue to grow this business, you need to already get in that mindset. That's why we made the video already about habit stacking. If you aren't already in the mindset of habit stacking now, when we do hit that 100K year and it's time to transition of how to put the 100K in your pocket, you're not going to be ready because you had not been habit stacking already, and you've been burning through the money. That's not supposed to be the ball out money yet, because it's going to take some time for we to get the ball out money. But if you haven't already started those habit stacking and doing that now, when that time comes, you're going to be still at square one. So that's why I say, even that's why I'm so big on the gatekeeping thing, because so many people be like, gatekeep. And I'll just use me, for example. If I really just unloaded on somebody that said gatekeeping, you're gatekeeping, if I just unloaded all the information onto them, I'm not even so that. I'm so positively sure about this. 10 times out of 10, they're going to get it wrong. It's just life. Life is all about habits, stuff that you practice. Like, think of a baby. Baby come out, you don't just stand a baby up and the baby takes off running. No, they have to sit there and do the scooting, the move around, and the slow crawling and falling, then the standing at the table, the coffee table, falling down, getting back up. Then they start to walking with the wobble. Then they get the running. Like, it's habit stacking, no different than school. I'm going to teach you this. I'm going to teach you this. And then I'm going to transition you to the next grade and the next grade. So the people that normally say that somebody's gatekeeping, if you give them all the information up front, not only will you be wasting your time, all the hard work and dedication you put into learning the craft, they're not going to get it. It's going to go over their head. We've talked about it a couple of times, even over here on this channel. Like, we've had people come in and they've asked certain things and it won't make sense because we still got to figure out how to work the load board. And that's just one load board. That's the reason we haven't branched out, because I'm just like you. I can't branch out and start adding new stuff to learn until I kind of learn the thing that I learned now. And you know me, I'm a sports fan. There's a reason why Michael Jordan had a lot of more one-on-one conversations and things like that with people like Kobe, because if Mike tried to talk to every single body, everybody didn't have that willpower and all that stuff that Mike did until he saw somebody like Kobe that he started mentoring. Could you imagine if he just started giving that kind of leadership and mentor and all that to other people that don't even want to? That's why Kobe say, you wasn't with me when you were shooting in the gym. Most people won't want to be in the gym that early in the morning. Same way over here with business. Most people aren't like you that are willing to stay up all night working on their craft, that aren't willing to do the research that takes hours into the wee morning. So when you look at yourself, don't take it a certain way when somebody like you gatekeeping and not giving me the information. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to be ready for you to unload it all on them anyway. Because the stuff that you learn along the journey that gets filed away into your information, if you look at it for yourself, if you would have knew what some of that stuff you were going to have to go through on the way, that journey of building a business or building a better life, most of us would have turned around. If you would have told me what it took to improve professional development and that to get that young dude that crash out that I used to be, to get him out of me, if you would have told me what it took, my mentors would have been straight up honest with me, I probably wouldn't have did it. Because it wasn't easy. You were put through the ringer, put through the fire, all that stuff. Man, y'all is coming through in this thing. I'm sorry, man. I'm over here getting a little swing. Y'all got me over here. I feel like the pastor over here with my little towel and all that, wiping that sweat. Got me over here getting passionate because, you know, not only getting passionate, but we have to turn the heat back on, because even though we sprang forward in the time today, that weather don't feel like spring the way that wind out there whipping. Let's see, fam. I told you, we over here talking. We're going to keep it 100, and we're going to answer these questions. What company do you go through, and how much is the down payment? So we went through Geico. The down payment was $1,900, right? It was like 18 something, close to 19. I round up everything. So 1,900. It was through Geico. Let's see. Yes, I feel you, fam. Everybody, a lot of people do, and I'm not gonna put it on everybody, but I do believe a vast majority of people gatekeep to sell ebooks. I'm kind of torn on it for two reasons. One, part of them wanting to sell those things is look at it from their perspective. If you put all that time in the research, if you look all that time and hours into your passion, whatever it is you're doing, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it be writing the books, learning how to bake, learning how the cargo van business work. When you put hours and money, because like over here with the cargo van, some of that research that we talk about, it was me and my family spending that $200 some deadheading so we can get an accurate account of how much it costs to go from Louisiana to Houston. I mean, to Los Angeles to Houston. It was us putting that money in to find out how much it costs to deadhead from up in Michigan back down to Houston to find the different points from Jacksonville back to Houston. That was us. That was our hours. That was our family being split apart for that time being. That was us sleeping in hotels. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's that individual, whatever it may be, putting that time, money, efforts, family sacrifices in. And then they look at somebody that's coming in, because it's never just one person. It's a flood of people. So you see somebody with 1, 2, 3, 15, 20, 30,000 people following them, and they're all getting hit with the same question. And they might have started out wanting to help, but then they make that ebook. So it's like, here, if you want some, pay for this ebook, and then that answers all your questions as we continue to learn. Because if they stopped and talked to every single body, yes. But then again, there are those people, because that's what helped us start the YouTube channel, by understanding business and I understand work. I'm gonna give you one. You ever seen those YouTube channels that'll be like, buy this, buy that, and they'll be like, you can make money doing this gig app. Then there's like, but you can also make money doing marketing. You can also make money doing drop shipping. You can also make money if you start an ebook. I'm gonna teach you how to write one. You could also make money if you sell this product or that product. And they just start, every video they pop up is something different. Them the ones I'm like, it's impossible for you to have all them business. So you telling me you got 87 businesses that know how to do home renovations. You know how to put your cars on tour roll. You know how to flip houses. You see what I'm saying? Like, those are the ones that we're talking about. Like, you're selling some stuff. Just stop. Because you're not even in the game. So yeah, I get the ones that are actually dedicated to that craft and they're selling that ebook, because that's also money that's coming into their pockets to help take care of their family. And that time that they put in, that work that they put in, is no different than somebody that goes to college or takes a trade. Like, if you want to learn how to be HVAC, you're going to have to pay somebody to go learn how to do it. It's just so happened that this person that's teaching you all the things that they do to start cleaning houses and the different websites that help you get in and how to find clients, all that research they did and found out, they want to be compensated for that, because they put in blood, sweat, and tears and some type of personal equity to get there. And you, that person that comes in, you just want the information. You got to give a couple dollars. Now, I'm not talking about somebody that says, hey, I made this course and you got to pay $5,000. Come on, fam. Like, the person trying to start a business, they might not have $5,000. Now, I understand some people are after the money. I'm not mad at it, but you got to be able to decipher. That's that. We keep coming back to this word. That's that research. Because I promise you, while you're researching, you're going to come across genuine individuals. You'll come across individuals after you do so much research that you'll know. I'll give you one. So if y'all ain't found out, I'm somebody that's big on personal development motivation. Somebody like me that's big on something like that, that would, if you look deep enough in my life, you would know that I listen to people like E.T. E.T. the hip hop preacher. I listen to E.T. And then by listening to E.T., if I wanted to get into real estate, he's brought people onto his family like the 9-to-5 millionaire, the King family. If I wanted to do real estate, I've been following him and watching him for so many years, and the people that he's brought on, I can see the people that aren't trying to just take your pockets. Like something about buying like the 9-to-5 millionaire course, which I already have because I took a college course, that certification that let me get it. So I already had that too. So I remember I told you I got a bunch of stuff in this head. So when you do that kind of stuff, you run across by researching. That's why we say research. You run across the people in whatever niche that you're trying to do. For some of you, that's how you even got over here to this family, looking up cargo van stuff, and we connected, and that's how we got here. So you met me, I met you, and that's how we're able to talk. But that's how it works, and that helps you avoid the scam. Because if you sit there and the first person that pop up, You like, I'm buying it. And it's like, you didn't do no research. Then you're going to be mad. You spent $2,000, $3,000, which a lot of people complain about because they didn't do the research. And then you have the second type of person. That's where it comes to, like, when we talk about gatekeeping, somebody like, I'll just use myself. There are people out there in life that they're blessed, their family's blessed in a way, and they're trying to give back, contribute. Now, those individuals that want the course, they keep asking for it. And eventually, it's going to be at the end of the year. I'm not even finna lie to you, because we'll talk about that later. That's part of business. But it's going to be towards the end of the year. They want the book. It's going to be towards the end of the year because that's that part that they want. Day ones and anybody else, you're not going to have to do that. Just go back and watch the videos. It's going to be similar information unless I remember something while I'm writing. But best believe if I'm writing or making a course and I remember something that I forgot to tell you, I'm just going to make a YouTube video and talk about it. Because I'm not going to, you know how it is, fam. When you're out there running around like crazy, your mind, you forget certain things. So, yeah, I understand the ebook one. So it happens. That's all it is. Don't take it personal. Just do your research because you're not obligated to, one, give them your money, and you're not obligated to give somebody all the information in your head just because they said you're gatekeeping. That's why we said audacity is at a all-time high. There are literally individuals out there that believe that you should give full access to everything in your head. Like even right now, I told y'all, if I told you everything that I'm learning, which I tell you what I learned about this, but everything that I know about business and all that, for one, to go over your head, and two, we got business ventures coming up. I can't put it out there until we do it, so I know it works or it doesn't work, so we can tell you the whole truth. Are these tariffs going to hurt if they actually do the tariff? So, all right, so I don't know. Let's go back. In order to know if tariffs is going to hurt, it's going to hurt a little bit, but it depends on what side you're looking at it from. So if you don't, let's just do a quick summary of tariffs. I'm not finna go down through all the definitions. I'm not finna do all that. Let's just give a quick summary. Tariffs is somebody on the outside of a country is sending products to a country or out of country, because we can send stuff out of a country, but mainly, in fact, the stuff coming into a country. That means they're going to be charged a certain percentage that's higher to even get their goods over here because they're making profit off of the people buying the goods. So they're going to raise the prices for it to come in. That means the business that's purchasing it has to pay those higher tariffs to get the product in. The problem with that is people will think it only hurts the business owner, but what it actually does, the business owner is just going to raise the price to the consumer, which is us. So we have to pay more. As far as the cargo van business goes, or any transportation business, it can do one or two things. It can cause people the owners not to be able to buy so much stuff. So that makes the supply and demand go up. When supply and demand goes up, it kind of helps transportation because they have to get stuff from point A to point B as quick as possible because they have a high demand and their supply is running low because it's not coming in as an influx as it used to. So it can help us because then that price to get it there faster, like us in these vans, expedited, they need us to get the product there. Or any type of transportation. They need it to get the product there. So that's where it can help us get the price up. It could also hurt us because if those go up too high, that's less stuff that'll be shipped in. So that means we're all to be jockeying for the same loads because now don't get me wrong. I don't think it'll go down to like a 0% to where nobody's making money, but it's going to tighten that budget a little bit, either for the person buying it or for the consumer. And if it tightens the budget on the consumer, that means back to supply and demand. If I don't have the money to keep purchasing your products, then that means I am going to stop purchasing. And that means you're going to have either an influx of product or you're just going to stop ordering so much product to come in. So it kind of tightens the wheels on that. That's just a quick synopsis of how it could or couldn't help us, but we won't know because as usual, we aren't high enough on a totem pole to know what's going on in those meetings in the back. That's why they call it protesting, because if anybody knows anything about business owners normally don't care about protesting because you're on the outside protesting while they're on the inside making big decisions. So for the most part, they don't care. That's the lack of better words. Sometimes the truth hurts to hear, but you can state if that was the case, if protesting worked the way it did, then everything would change every time somebody protests. It just depends on the situation and what's being talked about and what's being needed. So that goes back and forth. So yeah, the tariffs, that's still up in the air for what will affect and what will affect, because the simple fact, we got to see how the supply and demand work. You can have a tariff of however you want to, but everything is still driven at the end of the day by supply and demand. That goes back to what we started the conversation with gatekeeping, supply and demand. If the demand is high for you to give the information, but you as one person is the supply, you can't give out all the information. And I forgot that point. Speaking of gatekeeping, most people that think about gatekeeping don't even realize that they're gatekeepers themselves. This is why I love business, because I can talk about this stuff all day because most people don't understand business to the full extent. So when I say you're gatekeeping, think of it this way. You have a company. You have a CEO, CFO, COO, all the different C-suite people. Got your managers and workers and all that. So say I'm at the top and you have an assistant, whether it be a virtual assistant that our secretary, administrative assistant. Let's use that one because that's actually a degree, administrative assistant. That person is a gatekeeper. They're filtering and blocking everybody that comes to get information and get resources, make business deals, talk to CEO. The administrative assistant and the secretary is a gatekeeper. If we go all the way to the very beginning, if you're a security guard sitting at a shack letting people in, you're a gatekeeper. You're stopping people from getting into the next level of the information that they're trying to get to. The things that we use every day as gatekeeping, our apps with banking, it's a gatekeeping thing because you don't want people just to come access all your money, do you? You worked hard for it. That's how gatekeeping works, but people don't look at it on the grand scheme of thing because right now, your brain is the vault. The information that comes out and that people learn and use, that's your money. You make money by what's in here. That's why you've heard all since day one, knowledge is power. Not just mean like strong and all that. It does mean that too, but that's because you're financially able to do something. You're able to take care of your family. You're able not to be a crash out like I used to be. If you're able to make better decisions, both emotionally, all kinds of stuff. So that's your vault. And if you don't use the gatekeeping in you to stop someone from coming in, then everybody's just going to take all your information and it's going to leave you empty. Because most people don't pour back into you as you pour back into them. So keep that in mind. Most people already are gatekeeping. They just don't know it because they're looking at it on the micro level instead of looking at it as a big all-around, real-around picture. So, yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about the gatekeeping. Just do your thing. Same how we talked about tariffs. We don't know anything. So I can technically say the people that aren't telling us, like politicians, they're gatekeeping. Most of the stuff, if they actually told us, being in the military at certain leadership positions, there were certain things, if we actually flat out told the rest of the military, like the younger airmen and all that, they would lose their mind because it'd be too much at one point in time. So you have to hold on to certain things. So, yep, probably will help us drivers than hurt us. Yes, I believe ultimately it will help us, especially with, I don't know if y'all been doing it, but I told you freight wire and all that stuff. Look at that, especially with the numbers of MCs and all that keep by the week that keep going unactive. They're falling. MCs are falling off faster than they're being reduplicated by new companies. So even though it's not, because people will tell you all the time, like it's too many of us out there. That's not the truth because there's so much you got to factor in. Some people got MCs and aren't even running. Some people don't even run in the same lane you do. Like MCs can mean all kinds of stuff. So no. So yes, I think overall it'll help us in the long term, but that's still up to say. Don't hold my word against it because, like I said, I'm not in the room. So yeah, so a Canadian that crosses daily hauling freight. So tell me how that works because I saw I was getting back up there because I touched down in Michigan at one time. And when I got stuck that weekend and I saw loads that were going to Canada and I was mad because I didn't have my passport. Best believe now that passport go everywhere I go because if I get back up there, I'm crossing over. But yeah, as people crossing lines every day, we even talked about that. Like last live with the ones we use Laredo as an example, like crossing over from Mexico. Like there's certain, because Laredo is in Texas and Mexico. There are some drivers that cross over and cross back. There are some that cross over and keep going. That's part of the crackdown that they're doing as well. But hey, it's all about, I guess you could say how they're cracking down, which again, all this stuff we don't know because when you say gatekeepers, that's gatekeepers. The only difference is we are, as starting a business, you're normally the founder, the CEO, the CFO, the accountant, the secretary, the administrator. You're all of these things and people don't know to blur the lines between which capacity that you're acting in when they see your videos or YouTube or your reels on IG and TikTok. They don't understand that, hey, this is the marketing hat I'm putting on, or this is my social media hat that I'm putting on. By the time you come to me, I'm gonna give you the business hat. Big love to the CEO, always first. Are you looking for drivers in other states constantly or even currently? So right now we're not, and that's because that's, for lack of better words, we're letting the MC mature. What the future holds, we let God direct our plan. So we have ideas, but that goes back to what we've been talking about with the gatekeeping. We don't put everything out there until we get to that point and do it. Currently, right now, we don't, because like I said, we're letting everything mature. Who knows what God has for us in the future, whether that be working with people one-on-one, whether that be making a company where people can run with us. It's so many different ways this thing can go. But the reason I say that, you have to look at it on the whole level. And when I say that, I mean it's though, because I'm one of those people, it kind of bites me sometimes because I'm not really a perfectionist, but I'm one of those people that has to be working right, because I don't like to go back and fix something that I didn't do right the first time, if that makes sense. So whatever the plan is for the future, when we get there, because God be the same, we're going to get there soon and we'll all be here, and best believe it ain't going to be no LinkedIn and all that stuff. Whenever the wife and I figure out God's plan, we're coming straight to y'all first, because we fam over here. It's nepotism. We'll talk to that in a minute. Let's talk on it now. It's nepotism. You take care of fam first. That's what it is. Like how everybody was mad when LeBron was doing what he was doing with Bronny. Like everybody will be crazy in their mind if you get to a certain level and you don't help your fan come up with you. So best believe whatever God has in store for all of us, y'all included, whether it be just teaching more stuff or God blesses us, we can figure out something we can all work together. Whatever it is, we're going to talk to y'all first, because we all going to get the nepotism, because y'all support us. We support y'all. And when that time comes, we'll let you know. And however it plays out, however it works, we'll have all the details, and we're going to definitely let y'all know whatever it is. Not saying all the plans that we have in our brain, but whatever way God directs us, we're definitely going to let y'all know. Hey, my boy Jay Russ in the building. What's good, fam? Y'all don't know Jay Russ. Y'all got to go to his channel, because Jay Russ be killing it. Matter of fact, he should be at the house now. That boy been out there in them streets. That boy Jay Russ was outside. Can't wait for that next video, fam. And I can't wait to get back out there so we can chop it up, man. Got to chop it up again. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. They wouldn't know what I'm talking about. New fam, you got to go back and talk. Because when I say networking, we get into y'all. Like I'll use Jay Russ for an example. We talk. We trying to figure out stuff, because we all want to help y'all. So if you ain't already, I told you about the Quicks and other people. If you ain't already over there rocking with Jay Russ, YouTube Every Day I'm Wrestling, go on ahead, he in the comments, go on head over to his channel. Get to rocking with my boy. Let's all eat together, because that's the only way we're going to do. Can you imagine? I told y'all before about the going far and going fast and all that, but man, it ain't going to be lonely at the top, because we all going to go together. And if go over there and rock with my boy Jay Russ, because we all going to be at the top together. The problem in pandemic trucking, the gatekeepers never did trucking and just selling content to man. So I saw that. So believe it or not, because I told you my family been in this business industry for years. So I saw that as well. That's when I saw influx. The biggest influx was everybody being told to just go do dispatching. I'm laughing. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It's just funny, because there's nothing wrong with dispatching. I believe they are needed. Every aspect of transportation is needed. What comes off and throws me off, everybody was being taught to just go do dispatching and go get drivers. But one of the biggest, crucial, key aspects of anything with business, I don't want to say, let's just put it like this: how you talk, how you interact. Are you a people person? Because you're talking to individuals you don't know. That's why we talk so much about business etiquette, email etiquette, having just some kind of decorum about yourself, because you're talking and interacting with people. Can you imagine a dispatcher getting on the line with somebody? Yo, man, I see you got this load. I got a driver. No, I ain't doing it for no 50 cents. We going to do it for $5 a mile. And they don't even know the going rate, because they never did the research. All they did was took a course and said, try to get the most you should be running for this. That's where a lot of the confusion comes in, because people were going off of that pandemic rates, supply and demand. because the demand was high because everybody was at home, but there wasn't a big enough supply. So they had to start shipping stuff. That was back when everybody swore they needed 1 million rolls of toilet tissue, 5,000 rolls of paper towels. They needed 3,600 cans of green beans, 52 pounds of sugar. And so the demand went up, but the supply was down. So to get all that stuff moving around, everybody, the shipper had to go ahead and start peeling that money off. The broker had to go ahead. It wasn't time for no negotiation because I needed stuff to get from point A to point B, and I needed to get there soon. So they was able to get boys $4 and $5 a mile, cargo vans getting $3-4 a mile, like supply and demand. But since now there's no more pandemic, it's back down. That's when people start complaining about the courses. Because if everybody's a dispatcher, you're not going to make the money. And then, like we've talked before, you might be a dispatcher and you took the course, you know the acronyms, but you never even really seen a BOL. You saw a template of one, but you ain't been out here in these streets to know that every BOL looks completely different. Like we talked about with the airport. The airport ain't really a BOL. It's a delivery order or a pickup order. Totally different thing. Or the person saying, I need the POD, and you like, what's the POD? What's the proof of delivery? How I'm supposed to prove it to you? The POD, proof of delivery, is just the BOL, bill of lading. But you wouldn't know that. But that's one of those, what he was saying, Fan was saying about the courses during pandemic and people making the money. People are diving into stuff, and two things happen. You have a false sense of what you should make and what you shouldn't make and what you're trying to get. And then the second part, you kind of mess the game up because by not knowing what you're doing, it gets you in panic mode. You make mistakes. You help your drivers make mistakes. And I'm not just taking, this isn't a dispatch. I'm just using them for an example. Then you start panicking, and I see panic driving a lot. I've talked to a lot of people. That panic driving is where you've been sitting too long, or you don't think you need to pay this bill, so you just take any rate. And what that does is it drives the rate down. And not understanding the market. You wouldn't understand, like we talked earlier about the gas prices out west versus Midwest and out east. So if you're giving rates for somebody, because most dispatchers, they're dispatching in the United States, but they're sitting in one location. If I'm giving you rates and getting rates based off of what the price is in the Midwest, but you out in California, you can't run for $1 in California. Or if you even drop, like you can get away with it in the Midwest, you might drop to 90, 92 cents. You might get away with it, but if you drive for 90, 92 cents out in California, it's going to mess up your CPM because you got your CPM set for $3 a gallon, but now you shot up to $5 a gallon. It's not going to factor out the same way. Then you end up driving after your CPM costs and everything. You end up driving for 30, 40 cents, 25 cents, depending on what you take it for. So no, that all makes a difference. Let's see what else we got going on. What's up? I see all y'all in here, man. Based on experience with how loads are paid out, if you were to hire a driver, would you pay them by the hour or percentage of load? So me personally, I wouldn't do, because I by being out here, that's a tricky question. So this is my answer. This is my opinion. Nobody else's, because some people I've met some owner operators and stuff, they pay by the week. They're like factoring, like, I can keep you running and I'll pay you this much a week. I've seen some that do by the hour. Me personally, because this is just me, so don't take it, no shots against anybody else that doesn't do it the way I'm thinking. Obviously, I've thought about this. I'm more of a percentage-based person because you know how they say give somebody 110% and all that stuff. If you're out there driving and you putting in that work, I'm talking about that real work. You'll know what I'm talking about, whether it be staying local, regional. Like, you can be local and just want 2 loads a week. Let's be honest, if that's what your thing is. But if you're one of those that's saying I got time, but you just go out there just enough to put food on the table, you ain't trying to grow, you just sticking it at that, that's fine. But the reason I say percentage, because if you're out there working, grinding, going, get it. Wow. And this is something I picked up in the military. That's why I changed my career fields. If you're out there grinding, rain, sleet, snow, night, day, doing all that heavy driving, heavy lifting, and you only gonna get paid this much, why would you drive harder for yourself? Like, it's no ending. Like, I feel like you should have something to work for and growing towards. Like, if you're only gonna get, let's say, $1,000 a week, which is fine depending on the person's company, but say that week you ran the bag up to $4,000. Even with expenses, unless that person, the owner is paying for the van, the insurance. That's what I'm saying. It all plays a part. They're paying the van, the insurance, the gas, everything you can think of, and all you're doing is driving. Then I can see why they pay a flat rate, because they're keeping you moving and they're handling all the bills. But the way I look at it, I wouldn't, say we're just gonna do a hypothetical. Say you worked over here with the Grams. I would want you to work to the point where you still are able to pay for your MC to still mature and do all that stuff and make your money. So my answer would be percentage. That's just my personal thing. Everybody has something built different. Of course, it'd be your stuff. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Basically, yes, sir. Just got my congrats on the new MC, fam. I love it. Congrats, fam. Oh, say, yeah, Terry already rocking with Russ. See, he already get it. I ain't even got to say nothing. Terry, keep rocking with Russ. We already. Too many drivers not standing on business and accepting low rates, but then complain about rate. Sometimes you win by 20 points. Sometimes you win by 10 points. A win is a win. I agree. A win is a win. So when we talk about accepting rates and complaining, I can't think I touched on that before. I can't remember all the way. But you're not obligated to take anything. I get if you work with like a company, like a courier company and all that. I get that. But if you're on app and you're finding it and doing it on your own, you don't have to take everything. I found it, and this is just my opinion, unless, depending on where I'm going, there's been like a couple of cases I found it cheaper to just not take the freight. When you factor in, like, if I'm deadheading somewhere, if I'm deadheading empty versus if I'm driving with 2,000 pounds, and then it's gonna make me stop and get gas 1 or 2 more times because of the weight, the weather, because windy, rain conditions, or if it's hills up and down. I found sometimes it's only happened a couple times. It was more cost effective to just not take the freight. And then on top of that, my logic, like I told you about the one that it was 1,400, but they needed team drivers, so they bumped it up to 2,000. My logic, if I say no, or I'm not going to accept it, I feel as though now you have to raise the price a little bit more to get somebody to come get it. So that next person behind me, or 2 people behind me, or 3 people behind me, they going to get a better rate and they going to win because I'm not going to take it. So it's like, I don't know, it's some kind of weird way I feel like I'm helping the person behind me, because I'm not going to just take it for pennies on the dollars and it get to the point, because believe it or not, I told y'all in the last video, one came out so late in the day, it got up to $5 a mile. It was only going like 200 something miles, and it got up to like $1,300. Because of the simple fact they messed up, or a driver, because it happened, driver could have had it broke down, anything. And so there they got to raise the rate up. And I feel the same way about saying no. If you got some rate that's just super low, I'm just not going to take it. That's just me. What is this? Oh, man. How can I pin that up? Boy, I wish I could. Boy, let me see if I can do that. I've seen this before. I'm finna try something. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. First day tomorrow, don't have MC yet, but I'll be reaching out to you for a one-on-one for some valuable tips. Thanks for contributing to this game. God bless you. Jay, bless you, fam. I don't think people understand how much that means. That means a lot, fam. I appreciate you. And I want to talk about that for a second, just for a quick second. We talk about the one-on-ones, and I keep telling y'all, we're going to do it for everything, business, personal development, but we're going to stick with this right here. I've had times where people have missed. I don't know if they forgot that they paid. Don't remember. I reach out to them and tell them to come back. But I'm all about working with you, because I know things happen. We have one of the fam missed today. No, we just going to rebook you, fam. I'm not here. I told you, it ain't about the money grab. That's why the price is only $25 for 30 minutes, because it's about giving the opportunity for those people that's trying to, we talked about gatekeeping. That's what we're talking about. Those ones, because some people just need a quick general question. Some of y'all have figured out the little bitty loophole. If I ask the questions in the live, BG probably get to it. And I'm trying to. I'll be talking. But at the same time, there's some people that, hey, I just want to sit down. I got some questions. I got this and that. And they're ready to invest, because I was raised, it sounds crazy, but I was raised on that. You got to spend money to make money. Scared money don't make money. Some of y'all know what that means. Scared money that don't make money. We ain't going to go too deep in that. But yeah, fam, I was raised different. And so, Jay, I appreciate you for showing that love, fam. That is real love. I appreciate all y'all for showing love. I just wanted to highlight that because it popped up. And I'm going to show love on top of love when somebody even go put more love on top of it. Yep, there's a lot of panic driving around, especially in the car. Do you think it's easy next to you? All the bills are due, so they're driving lows cheap. So I think when this is because I've talked to people after, because you know me, that's part of my research. I catch people at the gas station, truck stops, waiting for loads, just talking. One of the biggest things that I've learned that drives a lot of this panic driving and they just accepting rates, a lot of people don't understand their CPM. And I think that when I say CPM, they don't know their full extent of their bill. They might know how much the vehicle costs, the insurance costs, but they aren't tracking how much gas they're using. They don't really track maintenance. They don't track miles. There's a lot of stuff they're not tracking. Deadhead. It's a lot of things that they weren't getting. And don't get me wrong, when I run into people, I go straight to them. Hey, man, watch this video. It tell you how to do it because I want you to win. But a lot of people don't know their CPM. And so all they do, because let's be honest, some people, and there's nothing wrong with this, they're living and surviving because they're it's like, I call it solopreneur because it's like you don't have employees and all that. It's just you. You're out there working for yourself, but that also means you have bills to pay. And when I say that CPM, see, we're talking about business. But if you're living in, we haven't even got to that one yet. If we're living and surviving off the money we make while we're driving as well as it comes in, we need a whole separate thing for CPM. Then we need to set up something for our personal bills, lifestyles, because that's what drive up. We got to get to that. I'm gonna have to sit down and make a chart for that one. You know what it takes to get the van moving, but if you have to live off the expenses that the business is making, you need to know your bills and set a budget. So if you know your rent, your electricity, like remember I always tell you to bump the number up. Electricity, internet, whatever those bills are, you need to know those numbers because you need to know how much you need to pay yourself. One, because most people aren't just paying themselves. They're looking at themselves as I am the business. So whatever makes money in the business, they're just keeping it and paying all the bills. And so they're always running and chasing that next load because of the simple fact they're trying to keep the van running. They're trying to pay their bills and they don't even have a good budget for their bills and they don't know the CPM. So they can't even budget right to know I need to peel back this much, leave this. So for example, let's use quick numbers because I don't want to lose anybody. Say the business cargo van, a good week. So if you're OTR, if you're really getting after it, you can make $3,000 to $4,000 a week. If you're getting after it, let's just stick with 3. Say to run your van for that particular week costs $750. So that leaves you with $2,250. Say your house bills, if you broke down your house bills the same way we broke down the CPM. So day one fam, if you don't know what I'm talking about, new fam, you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the CPM video. Take your $2,250. You need to know your house bills broken all the way down to the week and all that. So cost per mile for the van. Let's be CPL, cost per living for your personal life. You need to have that broken down the exact same way. You need to know how much you spend a week in food for the month. So if you spend like $250 a month, you need to have all that breaking down. So your CPL for by the week, if it comes out to $1,000, you know you spend $750 and $1,000 on your business. So that leaves you with what's that? $1,250. So now you're left with $1,250. Most people, that's when I keep saying don't have ball out on the cargo van money. Most people take that $1,250 and keep balling out. This ain't the time for that. That $1,250 need to go back to the business. Keep you 100 or something. Take the fam out to eat. Go have fun at CC's. I don't know. But that's where you need to separate because you're building a business. So that causes them to have to chase the next thing and accept rates because in their mind, they're like, the electric bill due and the water bill due is a total of $300. I don't care what load come up. I'm taking it. And then they take a load that's 75 cents because the load is going 500 miles and it's paying $350 and that's all they needed. So that's what I run into when I talk to people not understanding the CPM. And then if somebody don't know their cost per living, like they will integrate the two. And I think that's what drives it just from talking to people. So that's just what I feel you need to do. Just from my personal experience, it worked for me. That's how we set up things. So it works. Wishing you success out there. Yeah, man, get out there and get it, man. I'm so proud of you. Had my company tell me it might be hard to get loads out of Arizona. And I had to say to myself, What Mr. Get It there said, hope to have an MC by April 1st. We'll definitely hook up with you before then. Hey, fam. I believe what's for you is, of course, you can't generate stuff. We haven't talked about it as much, but there's also seasons for everything. There's seasons for lows because people buy stuff the same way the consumers buy stuff going in the holidays. There's business times where businesses buy stuff. They go by the fiscal year, not the calendar year. So it's just timelines for everything. It's a lot of stuff woven into business, especially when you start looking in different markets. Like some businesses always gonna need paper cups, so paper cups are always gonna ship out. Some people are steel or wood. They only build stuff during certain times of year because the rainy season. You see what I'm saying? It's always something. So you got to know that, and you got to understand the area that you're picking up out of. So there's certain areas like that make certain things. That's what they're known for. So it's about what you're gonna move around. That's a different set of market research. The satisfaction of not having to work for big corporation, is it worth it? It depends on the person, because I'm a firm believer everybody's not an entrepreneur, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with working for somebody, working 9 to 5 gig apps. There's nothing wrong with work. I don't want to get that lost on anybody. Providing for your family and building for your family, there's never a negative for that for me. Like, you're doing what you can to take care of your family. Because if everybody was entrepreneurs, who would be the people that would be the consumer? So no, everybody can't be the, I guess I don't want to say the boss, because everybody, you don't have to necessarily be the entrepreneur to be a boss. I think about me. I call everybody boss. Like, my supervisor was a boss. My manager was a boss. The person that was my trainer and he was my boss. Like, depends on how you look at it. But it's all about your mindset. Like, I'll use my wife and my friend, our family friend. They're both childcare. My wife, I've already told you before, open a daycare. But I have another friend. We have a friend in our family. She delivers babies. There's different ways you can do that. You can be a doula. You can be a house, home births and all that. You can work for a hospital. And she went to school and did all the same schooling. There's different lanes, of course. Obviously, one's business, daycare, one's medical and all that. But they both went to school. They both learned their information. They got what they needed from those schools that Gatekeep, no, they paid for it. They got that information. And they're both literally doing the same thing. One is bringing kids into the world, and the other one is fostering the growth of kids to transition to the next. I didn't say my wife was a 12th grade teacher. I said she was a daycare. Daycare transitions you to the next thing. So it's like they almost hand each other off. I delivered this nice, healthy baby to generate, and the family takes care of it, and the family passes it off to the daycare, and the daycare, she does her thing and make sure the kids are healthy, growing, nurturing, getting that pre-education. So by the time they get handed off to kindergarten, they're on to the next level of life. Only difference is right now, what we talk about over here with business and personal development, my friend, our family friend that gave birth, then they transitioned to my wife at the daycare, that transitioned to all the amazing teachers all around the world, that transitioned to different colleges, and then they come entrepreneurs and they get transitioned to somebody like me who's going to sit down and show you the hands-on back behind the scenes business so we continue to make things great. That's how life works, but people don't get that, and then they get this talking about gatekeeping. That's what started this whole conversation, but that's a whole nother thing. So it depends on how you are. For me, I look at it both ways because I was in the military. If you want to look at it, military is sort of like a big corporation. It's the government, military. And so the military blessed my family and I with this amazing life we live. So I'm never going to knock that. I know it wasn't for everybody, but God took us through it, got us through it, brought us through it, and brought us here. But then at the same time, I knew I wouldn't go back. I did that for 20 years. And then when you're married to somebody that's entrepreneurial minded, that helped us transition through life to afford us the opportunity to do certain things, from the 20-year career to the daycare to now we're here. Then no, I don't feel a need to go work for a corporation when we have the ability to build something that whether our kids or grandkids behind us want it or they don't want it, however it works, that's not on us to tell. It's just, what's that stuff, that thing they say, build it, let it come. The Bible says, a man, you're supposed to leave your family, land, and houses. Like, we're building according to God's plan, according to what he's telling us to do. So I believe right now, this part of my life, I can't do big corporation. It's going to be me. Previous part of my life, yeah, I'm going to do big corporation. There's nothing wrong with them taking care of you. Because think about it, a doctor, surgeon, they work for a corporation and they make more than some entrepreneur, self-employed. It all depends on what lane you want to do. There's nothing wrong either way. You're good either way. It's not an issue. So I think it's what's best for the individual and their family. Go crazy at Buc-ee's. Don't go crazy at Buc-ee's, right? Because you know me, I got that $12.50 left over. It might be Buc-ee's money. Because I went back and looked up the Buc-ee's that's coming up there in Benton. For y'all that don't know what I'm talking about, Arkansas is building the Buc-ee's too. So yes, and the one in Fort Worth is finna undergo a multi-million-dollar revamp. They finna do all kinds of stuff. And I just passed by, because I remember last week I went back to Georgia, passed by the one in Mississippi on exit 24. Now they got the sign. At first they didn't have the signs and all that. Now they got the little signs up and the little Buc-ee's pictures all on the wall. We getting there. But yeah, that Buc-ee's will take you $12.50. You stop at 3 of them, you're gonna be down $7.50 out the gate between them sandwiches. Matter of fact, it sounds crazy. I almost took a picture, but I wasn't gonna mess with y'all. Even on the way to San Antonio when we was going for the weekend, me and the wifey, we stopped and got Buc-ee's. That Buc-ee's had to get picked up. Let's see. Wounded Warrior has been good to me the past 3 years, but working for myself, I'm giving it up. But very grateful that some are grateful for our service. I was in the Air Force as well. Hey, man, Jay, thank you for your service. I tell people all the time, especially after I just went through another retirement ceremony when I say thank you for the service, it's not just for you as the service member. I want you to pass on that thank you for the service to your family, whether it be a husband or wife, and your kids. And in many cases, parents, like, thank you for the service, because people don't really understand the impact it has on those that, believe it or not, and I've said this before, I think my time serving was a lot easier for me, and all the hard work fell on my wife and kids. Those deployments, all the stuff that they had to learn and do without me around, like, it's a lot of stuff, those late, long nights, which I told y'all before in the meeting that I told y'all before in the past video, a mentor had to help me with that personal life balance. But yeah, that when I say thank you for your service, I'm talking about all well around. So pass off those thank yous and blessings to the family as well, because we appreciate them as well. You couldn't do it. We couldn't do it without them. So appreciate that. Let's see. Man, that was a fast op. See, we talking, had so much fun. But yeah, I know we talked about gatekeeping. That's what started this whole thing. I hope all the stuff we just talked about went real rounded to understand, because even the stuff we just talked about tonight falls under that same realm of gatekeeping, because whether it be the tariffs or whether it be working for different corporations or being solopreneur by yourself, whether it be you're working and driving the rates because you're trying to get to that next thing because you're trying to survive off the same money that you're using for your cargo van, not working the CPM. When you all work it all the way around, it comes back to gatekeeping. Like I just said with the cost of living, somebody that's driving the rate and you like, man, why are they taking these crazy rates? That's them gatekeeping. You don't know what their livelihood is. To you, that 80-something cents a mile might sound crazy, but we talked about it. Somebody that is in Laredo, Texas, in Mexico, somebody that's coming over Mexico or down there in Laredo, Texas, or up in Canada, depending on where you at, their cost of living might not be as high as yours, and their CPM, because their van is paid off and their insurance is dirt cheap because they live not near a big city. So when you're saying 80-something cents a mile, because your CPM is taking up 30-40% cents a mile, their CPM might only be taking up 20. They're literally making the exact same thing as you. Only thing is, you need $1. They only need 80 cents. But you wouldn't know that because they're gatekeeping their personal information, because it's in their mind, it's like their bank account. You won't know that. So everything isn't gatekeeping. Sometimes, like we said, you're not privy. It's the audacity, again, of thinking that you're obligated to know what somebody's got going on in their life, that you think that you're obligated to know everything that they know because they did the research and all that. And you just got to hope and pray that if you're one of those individuals that need help, that you do the research and run across the good, healthy people that don't charge you on the leg for courses or charge you on the leg for one-on-ones. All those good, healthy people that God has blessed them in life, that they're able to share that information with you one-on-one. So yeah, it's all about how you look at it, fam. I'm not mad at it either way. Just wanted y'all to get that gatekeeping thing in your head, because like I said, the time is going to come for some of you, like the quicks. They already know people will be asking you questions. And sometimes you can get to them, sometimes you can't. I still got to catch up on questions from the YouTube. It's just, it is what it is. But nah, fam, I'm not even gonna hold y'all up, man. We not knocked out another hour on this live because it's time to get to it. It might be whipping out here with this wind, but your boy got to get back to work. And I know you got to get back to work too. BG, we need a breakdown of regions based on freight, good or bad. I'm writing that down too. I'm getting that YouTube. I'm telling you, I'll write down what y'all say because I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole because I want to know. I know it in my head, but I haven't did statistics and numbers and all that, analyze the data to know all the way. So I'm breaking down the regions because I want to know that too. I know it in my head, but I'm not gonna lie to you. It's only gonna be certain regions. I don't see myself just running up to Seattle, Washington on a regular basis. I don't see myself in Connecticut and all that. So what I do research wise, because I'm in Houston. In Texas, it's going to be Midwest to the southern regions of the East and the West Coast. I'm just going to be 100 with you. I might go up the East Coast a little more, like to the Carolinas and the Virginia, but I'll let y'all know all that. But I'm not going to dive into that right now. I'll get that research. I'll go down that rabbit hole. That's what we do together. I want you to go down it too so we can bounce this idea about it. It ain't supposed to be just me working over here. I want you to just do some research. Even if you're not out there driving, FreightWire, Google, transportation loads, we can find all that all out together. But I'm going to do my part. I'm going to look up what I know so far and look on rates and stuff. And I'm going to get back with you. We're going to definitely chop it up on that one. That might be a good live for next week. So I appreciate you for that one, fam. So we might talk about that next week if I get that information fast enough. But now, fam, I know it's already 8 o'clock and I know that time springing ahead on us, even though that spring weather ain't here yet. I know it threw everybody off a loop and you sprung ahead and lost that hour. So I don't even want to hold y'all up no more because I want y'all to get some rest because it's time to get up in the morning and go get back to it. We got to go get some more bags. You got to go get it because you got to go get it there so you can get the bag. So now, fam, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with your boy again. And before I even get out of here, Jay, once again, I appreciate you for that love, fam. From the bottom of my family heart and my heart, we appreciate that. We appreciate all the fam out here showing love. Want y'all to keep rocking with us. And as always, if you got any questions, got any concerns, got any comments, let us know. I already put the how to book a one-on-one in the description. So we good there. So yeah, fam, go get y'all some rest. Go get y'all some bags because I'm definitely going to get the bags with you so we can get the bags and meet at the top together. But I ain't even going to say to the next live because this one next live, next video, the next whenever. Until we meet again, I want y'all to stay blessed.